Hey there, welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct from the studios here at Menara Star in PJ. My name is Nelsen. Joining me today, Daryl and Zack, Yusof. Guys, good to see you as usual. Well, over the weekend, the BPL took a short break as fourth round FA Cup matches took place instead. But almost immediately after that, league action resumed in midweek, and with 10-man Chelsea only managing a 1-1 draw at Swansea. Daryl, of late the Blues have been unimpressive to say the least, right? And they certainly proved it again last night, right?
Torres didn't score again, so that's
Right.
always going to be the main issue. Every week that they play Torres, but it was really a great escape for Chelsea.
Right.
But Swansea is not a place where you actually can go in there and basically boss the home team around.
Right. Zack, surely this doesn't bode well for the Blues. Considering Man United come a-calling this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's not the best preparation for what is their biggest game in ages, right? But you gotta think that AVB, right? Ancelotti got sacked.
Right.
He did a lot better in his first year, so one would think that AVB's job is quite precarious at the moment, right?
Well, we'll look into that big game later on in the show, of course. But in the meantime, Liverpool followed on from their cup win over United by securing an impressive 3-0 win at Wolves. Daryl, Andy Carroll got a long-awaited goal, right? At last.
Finally something from Andy Carroll.
But along with the rest of you and other Liverpool fans, I'm sure you're pleased with the result, right? And the form that Liverpool are in at the moment.
With these kind of teams like Bolton and all that, where we played and we were worried because they're at the bottom there. A team like Liverpool should go there and roll. Steamroll these teams, but we lost 3-1. So this Wolves game was a bit wary. I think Kane Dalglish had said, "Look here, what happened at Bolton. Let's not make it happen again."
Right.
It took quite long for them to get going, but once they did, it was 3-0, and I think it was points well earned.
Right.
Sorry, I just want to expand on the Carroll thing. So now it's an assist and a goal for Carroll in as many games.
Right. Craig Bellamy as well, Daryl, you happy with him?
Yep, Craig Bellamy.
He's been the main man for Liverpool in the past 2-3 games.
Yeah.
Well, over at Old Trafford, Chicharito and Dimitar Berbatov converted a penalty each as Man United defeated Stoke City by 2-0. We know that not many teams, Zack, are better at bouncing back from adversity than United. And they showed it once again. It's a depleted United side, missing two of their first choice goalkeepers, and Stoke aren't pushovers, right?
No, but they aren't exactly the most cavalier of teams. I understand yesterday the stats read no shots on goal for Stoke, so he's obviously went there just to park that bus, and you'd expect United to eventually break down a team like Stoke.
Daryl, deserved result for United, you mean?
They have basically now the fact that the City dropped points. They'll be looking at this is basically what they needed. The result.
And that man Valencia again, I tell you, United have stuck in championship race in large thanks to Valencia's current form.
Definitely,
really outstanding
got to agree with you. Well, with the win and City's surprising 1-0 loss to Everton, United are now level on points at the top. Speaking of which, Zack, you're a happy man, I'm sure, right?
Very happy,
following Everton's 1-0 win over the noisy neighbours.
The ex-United boys got together and did United a massive favour. Great performance yesterday. It was worth waking up at the crack of dawn or 4 a.m. or whatever it was, because Everton for once showed the willing and the endeavour. They really earned their money yesterday. It was great to see. Plus they were bolstered by great news in the transfer window. So all in all, great night.
Right. Lastly, Spurs managed to put aside Harry Redknapp's off-field problems to beat bottom side Wigan by 3-1. Daryl, this was kind of an expected result, right?
Well, with Spurs basically really contemplating keeping the third place or going further. This was a massive result for them, 3-1. And Gareth Bale's on fire.
Job done, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of job done and third place and all, the title race is now wide open, right, Daryl? So what's going to be crucial for you? Going into the last stage of the season.
I would say how Man City keeps the City team together, and whether City can hold their nerves. It's basically Fergie time right now. It's all the mind games.
Right. And you're confident that City's bubble will burst, right? And United will take advantage, right?
I would say United has the experience. With Scholes back and Giggs, they know how to win the title.
Right.
Even though with the depleted side, there's this something extra about United, and if they keep. Strangely enough, they got to keep their home games all. They lost 2 at home already so far, which is kind of it's not very United.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic. But United have been depleted by injuries, so now they've got players coming back. You got the Ashley Youngs and all that coming back, the Andersons. So like Daryl says, United have got the experience of being there. They know what it takes to win. Well, City, you can see that
they've got the talent.
Cracks are showing. City have got all the talent in the world, but not the experience,
Right. Well, okay. Well, and in what was transfer deadline day, as Zack mentioned, right, a couple of moves kind of caught the eye, with Bobby Zamora joining former manager Mark Hughes at QPR, while Jibril Cisse makes a return to the EPL. Moving to Loftus Road as well from Lazio, and meanwhile Everton brought in a Nikika Jelavic. I think you're happy with him, right, Zack? I think they're short of strikers from Rangers, and Fulham signed a Pavel Pogremniak from German side Stuttgart.
Not forgetting the return of Steven Pienaar to
Steven Pienaar to Everton as well, and Zaha going to Spurs, right? But Zack, a kind of common thing in these transfers look like a number of teams are bringing in strikers, right? So does goals seem to be the problem in the BPL
goals
at the moment?
Goals seem to be a problem, and but the main thing I saw about this transfer window is that the clubs seem to be more sober now, Then there's not crazy money being spent.
Right.
I think the economic crunch has really taken hold of the Premier League, so you can see teams are being more conservative.
Any transfer that caught your eye, Daryl?
No, not much. It was totally boring this time around. This January is really bad. I mean, last January you could say, the Andy Carroll and Torres.
But now it's kind of mundane, right? It's your usual.
January just flew by.
Right.
Well, all the big clubs reckon that there's not a lot of bargains to be had in January,
Right. Okay, well, hold on to your thoughts, as it is time for a quick break here on Football Everyday. We'll be right back with more chat and banter, as well as a preview of this weekend's fixtures. So stay tuned. We'll see you real soon. Back to Football Everyday here on the second segment of the show. Alright, getting straight back into the weekend's fixtures, where at the Emirates, Arsenal play host to Blackburn Rovers. Zack, we know the Gunners tend to struggle against more physical opponents, and Rovers would be one such team, right? Yeah. So how do you see this one unfolding?
Well, it's going to be a toughie for Arsenal. I think, Blackburn seem to be picking up some points, right? Steve Keane, he's had a lot of stick, but somehow Blackburn are not in the bottom three anymore, and it would be one of the great escapes of the Premier League if they survive.
Right.
But at the Emirates, Arsenal, they've got aspirations to be in the top four. You'd think they have to beat a team like Blackburn.
3 points, it has to be 3 points, right?
I think Van Persie, he's the sort of player that could change the game, right?
Speaking of Arsenal, Daryl, rumour has it that certain Jose Mourinho is going to come in for Arsene Wenger. What do you make of that, man?
Well, the first thing, Mourinho is probably going to look at the Arsenal management and say, where is the money going to come from for him to buy a place? Arsenal don't spend.
Right.
So I think it's kind of like you can basically pour some cold water on that rumour.
Right. Okay, well, at the Etihad, Manchester City welcome Martin Yo's Fulham, looking to bounce back, of course, from their surprise defeat to Everton. Guys, many quarters have said that City have the talent, but don't have the necessary experience to keep up the title race, right? Daryl and Fulham on their day can be a potential banana skin, right?
Fulham will always be a stubborn team to beat, but I don't think they have that sort of quality to match City when City basically, look at that, they need to win. It's a home game, and the Etihad is basically like a fortress, and Fulham is there for the taking.
Right.
But most teams are devastated when they lose to Everton, so it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
You had to add that in, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, over at the Sports Direct Arena, which used to be known as St James's Park, Newcastle lock horns with Aston Villa. With Senegal's surprise exit from the African Nations Cup, Alan Pardew will have Demba Ba back at his disposal, right, Zack?
I'm sure he's very happy.
So would you say the advantage lies with the Magpies?
Well, being at the Sports Direct, is that what it's called? Sports Direct at St James's Park. Sorry. You'd have to think that the advantage is with Newcastle. I kind of think, like I was telling you before, maybe Alan Pardew engineered Senegal's early exit, That's how much they depend on the likes of Demba Ba.
Right. 0 points, right, from the whole tournament. Which is
0 points. So
right?
I bet you Pardew must be loving it. He's got his main man back. Right. And we see the two Senegalese up front, maybe. They got the new signing.
Got a new signing as well, right?
Another Demba, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 Dembas.
Okay, so should be a win for Newcastle. Well, the big one this weekend happens at Stamford Bridge, where 4th placed Chelsea do battle with joint leaders Man United. Daryl, surely City will be hoping, to beat Fulham, and also hope at the same time that Chelsea do United, right? But can you see this happening?
Stamford Bridge is not a place where it used to be,
Right.
United could go there and basically thinking that they could finish off the game, wrap up the game there. But you got to also, look at Chelsea. They're under pressure right now. They're not. They need the top. In all honesty, they might finish 4th. That's the best it could go.
Right.
I don't think it's going to go beyond that.
But you know, Nelson, I've been watching a lot of Chelsea lately, and they've been strangely uninspired. You know, it seems that they've got no spark. I don't know whether you saw the cup game against QPR, but that was one of the most turgid displays of football.
Right, but speaking of coming alive and having to bounce back and stuff, I mean, this is Torres' chance to finally come alive. Right? Against United. I mean, he has done it before for Liverpool.
Yet another chance for Fernando Torres to show what he's really capable of. But you know, you have to think that Chelsea have to look beyond expecting him to ignite. You know, they've got so many other talented players there.
Right. Well, so I mean, for good measure, Daryl.
I think Torres is going to be right off. It's going to be a United win, an away win.
How would you call
it? I kind of think that the one game Fernando Torres likes to play is against United.
Right?
So you never know. I'm thinking it could be a draw.
At least a draw. Okay. Well, biggest it might be, but that's not the only game taking place. As after that, Liverpool and Spurs tackle each other at Anfield. I mean, well, following success in the League Cup, FA Cup, and a good win in the league, right, Daryl? I mean, surely the Reds...
There's just no stopping Liverpool.
Yeah,
it's full steam ahead.
They have every reason to be confident, right?
Well, they want revenge against Spurs. I mean, they really got tanked at White Hart Lane.
Right. But, Zack, I mean, we know beating the lesser teams at Anfield has been a bane for Kenny Dalglish's side so far this season. So, do Spurs have a chance of getting something?
Well, Spurs definitely fall in the category of being one of the lesser teams. I'm joking, of course. No, I mean, you know, I think Liverpool will definitely be very motivated against Spurs. I mean, Spurs have got the pedigree and they will attack. Liverpool play well against teams that attack, as we saw against United, right? They fare worse against teams that tend to park the bus. So, you know, this would be a good game. I really do think Liverpool
have a chance,
could win this one.
Right.
I think Spurs can't travel north. See, when it's all disaster for them at Man City, at Man United they lost.
Yeah.
But further north is Liverpool.
So they're going to lose even bigger, right?
The travel sickness definitely.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for your thoughts, guys. Before we bid you goodbye, do of course remember that we've launched a contest which is available on football.thestar.com.my. Do take part as loads of monthly prizes up for grabs on top of FA Cup final tickets, courtesy of Emirates and Astro. In the meantime, if you want to send us an email, send it to us at football@thestar.com.my. So, Daryl, Zack, pleasure as always.
Cheers,
Till we see you again next week, same time, same place. It's bye from us from Football Everyday.